Okay, folks, so here's the deal. I have been having a heck of a time with the audio on this video. First of all, I forgot to turn on the microphone when I recorded the video, hence why my voice is not matching my face right now. And then I attempted to record a voiceover on the same video as I'm doing right now. By the way, Volkswagen did not sponsor this video, just so you're not confused. I tried to record a voiceover and that first attempt didn't work either. So I'm trying again. Anyway, Poems in Progress video. These are videos where I show you my process of trying to write a poem and really go into it with no ideas, no preconceived notions of where the thing is going. Um, I kind of riff. Oh, by the way, I'm showing you that I recorded this in our shop. A little bit quieter space, no children running around. Though that didn't really matter this time because didn't turn the microphone on. Anyway, um, see, I'm gonna hop into a poem here and start start recording the writing of that poem. I'm not sure I'm gonna narrate this whole thing. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I'll put some sentimental music in the background or something. That'd be fun too. Anyway, I'm just taking a poem here, an idea, an image, and starting to string together some words. I'm sure you all have seen plants growing in strange places, maybe the cracks of sidewalks, or a tree seemingly growing on a pure rocky cliffside where there's no soil, just kind of found a spot to cling on to, things like that. So I'm imagining a flower landing on a stump, a crack in a stump of a tree, an old stump of a tree, and beginning to grow there. That's just kind of the image that came to me, and I ran with it. Had really no preconceived notions of what that might be. But eventually, an analogy came to me. Suppose you could call it an analogy of how we get a little hung up on the past. Sometimes we can romanticize the past, myself included, thinking, oh, back in the good old days when things were better. A lot of times that's maybe not a totally accurate reading of maybe our own personal past or even our societal past. Um, but what the past can give us and bring us is wisdom, shared through us through institutions, through culture, through our elders, through our ancestors. And there is a richness there that it can be a good ground for us to grow on, so to speak. So that was kind of the analogy that came into my head. Hey, here's this old stump, kind of the things we've inherited from the past. And here's this flower rooting itself into this stump. And not just staying in the past, if you will, uh, the flower allows itself to sprout and to grow into a new open air future above it. So rooted in that wisdom, um, allowing itself to encounter things that are novel, things that are new, maybe things unprecedented. And maybe we can run that analogy for ourselves. Maybe we encounter novel and unprecedented things in our lives, or I can think of some things right now, societally, that maybe have never been seen before in our history, in human history. It's true that in a lot of ways there are no new things under the sun. Much of what we struggle with now as human beings, we've struggled with for a really long time. But I do wonder if there are some new and novel things that we are encountering. And so that was what was kind of running through my head as I took this image of a flower landing on a stump, something to be rooted in, a strong, firm buttress, if you will, I think is the word I use, um, that allows us to go into the new things and not to overly romanticize the past or to try to live back there in the past. The stump is no longer living, but it provides us, the flower being us, kind of a scaffold to build upon. So I think that's what came into my head as I ran with this image that just came to me. Um, so yeah, I showed you that process here, and hopefully it turned out. It was a decent poem. Again, the whole idea behind this poems in progress thing is that these are just kind of wild first drafts, I guess, poems in progress. Never really having a finished or polished work. Um, so, again, man, the technological troubles. You just never know. I really hope this recording works out. Thank you for tuning in this week. I really appreciate that. And thank you for hopping over to Wonderbook if you have done that in the past or are able to do that. That's my Substack that I run where I post poems, reflections, started to put some short stories up on there, things like that. So I'll leave a link down in the description for Wonderbook, and I'd be delighted if you went and checked out some things over there. This guy on the screen, he's just going to keep babbling, but maybe we'll call it a day. And you can check out that poem there on the screen. Um, Thanks so much. I hope you're doing really, really well. Peace.